This is All Elite Wrestling. Wait, what is this guy's voice doing here for All Elite Wrestling? Isn't that the Tuesday night voice? Ladies and gentlemen, the All Elite couple was at Dynamite tonight, and they sat here and we said, "Hey kids, go have a good time. Don't worry, we'll make sure that the House of Elite is safe and fine." Tonight, though, you get the team of the Bad Dolls, the Bad Guy, and the Wrestling Doll, and we're gonna go live and review Dynamite. And okay, maybe I should have the video ready. Where are these videos? Oh, and 5, 4, 3, 2, let's go live! You see their faces, but you get these faces. And you know, these guys, they were at Dynamite, and I hope that they are making their way home safely, and they will be joining you guys next week. But for tonight, you got the team of, I got All Elite Jack for tonight, but we got the Wrestling Doll, and we're here to talk about Dynamite. Wrestling Doll, what did you think about AEW tonight?
It was pretty damn good and pretty damn crazy. Nothing that WWE could do now, especially since they decided to go TV 14 again.
Ooh, okay. So there's a lot of spots that I missed because I was on air earlier. We did one shot talking about Krypton because we're doing a whole Superman review on his shows and stuff. That's hence why I have a Superman shirt. But still, at the end of the day, Spider-Man is the best superhero of all time. But I digress. But we're here to talk about AEW. It opened up. I did get to catch this as I was on air. I was watching both talking and looking up. But we had Brody King against Darby Allin. I thought that was quite the opener. And you know, look, I mean, anybody who's ever seen my reviews, I don't go through move by move by move with these things. I try to go by what I thought, what I think of the match, and certain spots. Like they had that spot again where Brody was choking out Darby. I don't know what's his thing with choking out Darby, but he has a good time choking out Darby. But Wrestling Dog, what did you think about this match? We could dissect it a little bit, but what did you think about this match?
That anything with Darby Allin is pretty much like watching a Hardy Boys match today. Because Darby Allin is absolutely batshit off the wall, insanely crazy. But it was a pretty good match. There were some spots, like, since they've been working together, they counted pretty damn good. Like, there were some spots that just had me going, like, holy shit, look at that. That's smart. That's what I want to see, because I get bored of watching the same kind of moves happen. Like, you get attacked, you don't do anything after, and then boom, you get attacked again by that person. But they were on each other like white on rice for a good majority of it, which I did enjoy. And unfortunately, Darby Allin lost, which kind of expected to happen.
But did that surprise you?
Well, I kind of did, because I love Darby Allin, but with Brody King, I kind of had a feeling he was going to lose against Brody King. And he lost, and then they used poor Darby Allin to call out Sting, which then Malachi Black got called out after the whole blackout thing again. I was like, oh, are we getting the entire House of Black? Oh, no, it's just Malachi, and then they sprayed Sting in the face.
Well, he hit him
with
the
miss. If the House of Black, I'm going to be sad.
He hit him with the miss. And I got to give it to Sting. Sting is in his 60s, right? And, you know, he sees his son getting his ass kicked. And he's the father who sits here and says, you're not going to just kick my son's ass. I'm going to help my son. He comes out with the trench coat. He's walking down there. And you know, Brody's a big dude, so it's hilarious, the visual. So I just want to point out the visual, right? The visual of 60-something-year-old Sting, and he's beating up this big horse-looking of a man. Like, Brody's a big dude, and he's just beating him up with ease. Get ready to hit him with the Scorpion Death Drop, and then the lights go out. And, I was listening to another podcast, and it was actually interesting when they point this out because there's a lot of these dream matches, dream-filled kind of things. Now, I don't want to say inside I was, oh, man, I would love to see Malachi Black and Sting. I never thought that. But the idea of these two being in the same ring, I'm like, never thought about that. Like, wow, we're seeing this. I never thought about that. And, when the lights go out and you see Sting already looking at Malachi's face, like, what? Like, I created these mind games. I created this. Like, you're reading the book I wrote. Because Sting was already prepared. And then Brody comes out of nowhere, choke him, and then the Miz comes out of nowhere. I thought it was a good way to open up the show. Darby doesn't lose anything. Darby's just the guy who just gets his ass kicked. He's the guy who gets his ass kicked. He's the one. He loses a lot. And then I do want to mention, because there is a little rivalry here between Mero, or the Redeemer, let's throw that out there, and House Black. Like, he walks out there with the sunglasses.
I noticed that there were two different colored lenses.
His glasses? I didn't peek that. Oh, wow, good job. I did not even recognize that. So you realize
brown over here, black over here. So I was just like, oh, what's going on over here?
That might actually be. That's such an interesting look at. It's interesting you point that out because it's probably because like Malachi, he has the one contact in his eyes, and maybe the thing is supposed to represent his face. Because when you say that, I'm trying to figure out like, what's that about, right? What's going on? I cannot pronounce your name, so I'm just gonna say AS. What's going on, AS? How are you? How are you, partner? Thank you for tuning in. And if you guys are enjoying this all elite unpopular review, the all elite side of wrestling, this is our wrestling review for Dynamite. Please give us a like, love, and share. I don't know what is up with our names and why it's not up there, but I am the bad guy. She is the wrestling doll. We want to say and thank Nico Extra for let us borrow his play. Oh, there we go. Wow, what'd you do? Are you a magician?
No, I just fixed it. It wasn't showing, so I fixed it.
Fantastic. That's what makes the dream work. Hashtag the bad dolls. That's what we are. Shirts are on the way. You wait and see. We gotta figure out the design. Like if it is, I want Chucky. Like you mentioned Chucky with the brown streak. That's me. That's the doll I want. But what's the next segment we got, Wrestling Doll? What else do we have here?
Well,
what do you have on the notes?
We had a match with Wheeler Yuta and Jon Moxley of the Blackpool Combat Club versus his former mentor in Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta in Best Friends.
Let me ask you something real quick, Wrestling Doll. That's the king right there, the bad doll. There we go. We're gonna try to make that. We're gonna make that a thing. The bad dolls. Yes, the bad doll. That's merch is on the way. You wait and see. But let me ask you something. So Wheeler Yuta, right? He was teaming with the Best Friends. I forget how long, right? He was teaming up with them
for a good while.
Yes,
when I started watching AEW, he was still in it, and I saw him. I was like, this guy is really great. I feel like he's going to be a star. That he's going to be a champion tonight. Well, not tonight, but overall in the future.
I was gonna say that's a good call tonight. Like I imaged you back in the day.
Sorry,
like, on July of this year, he's gonna do it on this particular day. I love it. Well, he is actually he's the
Ring of Honor Pure Champion.
Yes. So I sit here and ask you this question, right? Because we're not here on the AEW side all the time, so let's have a conversation here, right? So he was with the Best Friends for a period of time. Wasn't really hitting the success that he wanted. The Blackpool Combat Club, and I mean he's getting more eyes. I think he's a little bit more success. So I was sitting and ask you, do you think he's made the right call leaving the Best Friends to join the Blackpool Combat Club?
Let's see. Don't know how long Chuck Taylor's been in the game, neither with Trent Beretta or Orange Cassidy. But when you have a team with Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, William Regal, and now Claudio, I kind of would go with the Blackpool Combat Club myself.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys, and he fits in, and it's really cool because I don't know, like the concept. I feel like the concept was always to try to bring someone young in. So when you have someone with the experience of John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, um, Claudio too. Now he's the newest member. William Regal. That's such a learning tree that you want to be. Not to disrespect the best friends, but the best friends is just. And I like the best friends. Listen, I like the Orange Cassidy stuff. I can understand at this point how it's just like played out. But every now and then I chuckle. But I'll admit, the first time I ever saw it, I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but that's hilarious. So we have this match, and to me, this was a I don't want to say a test for Yuta. Yuta had a bunch of other tests, but this was like this mind game where Yuta is going against his former good friends, well, Chuck. He said he likes Chuck, but he doesn't really care for
Beretta.
No.
Trent Beretta's never liked Yuta.
No. They've never been fans of each other. And
you
now
can
they have
tell
this
by the
match.
way that he nearly destroyed that man's neck when he was holding onto the rope while kicking him in the face. He almost got disqualified.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. At that point, you wonder, like, wow, does he really not like him? Like, you have to sit and ask, like, in real life, do you not like this guy? The way you kicking this guy in the face? But I mean, the Blackpool Club, Combat Club gets the win. I mean, which they should. I mean, one, you have the AEW World Heavyweight Champion on this team, and I thought it was a pretty decent match from what I was watching. I mean, I like, I dig Trent. Trent is pretty. I like Trent. Oh, Betty, let me put it this way: I like the best friends, but there was no way these guys were going to win.
Yeah. Nope.
No. They just needed someone to feed to the Blackpool Combat Club. I thought the match was pretty decent, and we'll see the best friends eventually. I mean, what do you see? Okay, so what do you think about the best friends?
I feel like it's kind of played out at this point for me.
Okay.
I mean, nothing wrong with them as a team. I don't know. They just kind of bore me at this point.
So what would you like for that? What would you like for the best friends? Would this be something where you would like to see a split? Like, what would you? Oh, you would like to see them split? Ooh, yeah. Okay. Let's do some booking stuff here. So if they do a split between the best friends, right? Who's the baby? Who's the heel?
Trent Beretta's the heel. Chuck Taylor's the face.
Why Trent the heel? Because he has a punchable face. I feel like that's why.
That too, and I just don't like him.
Oh, let's do. Oh, okay.
I feel like he plays the heel more. I feel like that fits him better.
You know, since he's come back, he's been a lot more aggressive. Actually, Trent. He's been a lot more aggressive. I mean, I don't watch AEW all the time, so I don't want to sit there and act like I watch all the time. But I know some of the stuff I saw him when he first came back. He was a lot more aggressive. Even his team members were like, "Yo, Trent, like, chill, chill out." So. Yeah, I mean, Blackpool to get the win. I mean, that to me, it was never in doubt that they were going to get the win. Yuta gets the pin. He pins, I believe, Chuck Taylor, which are great shoes, by the way. I'm a Chuck Taylor guy. Just wanted to throw it out there. Better than Vans. You know, can't trust people with Vans.
Good thing I don't own
it. Good. Tremendous. You protect. That's a good job. What's the next segment we got here, madam?
We have the brand new AEW World Tag Team Champions Swerve and Our Glory coming in to celebrate their victory. And they have the people chanting bask in his glory, and you're in whose house? Your house. And then we get the You Deserve It chants. And they're basically saying that toast to us because we're going to be champions for a while. And then you have Mark Sterling and Tony Nese appearing, which was quite something.
You know, I don't know. You know, what's my guy's name? Tony Nese, right? Yeah, Tony Nese. Looks like $1 million, right?
But
But no one cares.
yeah,
I felt like no one cared. I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do with this segment and trying to, because I don't see them as a challenger. So let me ask you. Last week, neither one of us was on air. The elite couple was on air, and ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the all elite side of Unpopular Review. Please give us a like, love, and share. Helps the brand. And join us in the comments. Tell us what you think about tonight's show. Tell us what did you like about tonight's show. What's your favorite segment? Favorite? Because we might have skimmed over something. So please, and we'll gladly talk some we'll talk some wrestling with you guys. So please, let us know what you thought about tonight, and join the conversation and continue to support us. And we're gonna do some plugs later on about all the stuff that we do. But let's talk about this. We were talking about Tony Nese, and no one cared. So I wanted to say this. Last week, Bask in Our Glory won the AEW Tag Team Championship last week, which was a surprise. I do want to dig a little bit on that. What did you think about, not necessarily the match last week, but what do you think about them putting the titles on Bask in Our Glory? Or Swerve in Our Glory, that's the actual name.
they are so over that if those two didn't get the belts right now, it would have been a travesty.
Ooh. That's a big word right there, travesty. Yeah. That would have been like, wow, you messed up. I'm surprised.
Exactly.
I'm surprised that they did it, because I thought that they would keep the titles on the Bucks.
Listen, Tony contrasts to the opposite as the people at WWE. He listens to the fans.
Oh, here we go. And you can.
Hey, they hardly listen to the fans over in WWE. Lord knows how many times they've done bad booking that made people pissed.
I'll sit here and say, like, I don't want to sit here and praise WWE. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that can always be better with WWE, but I would never sit here and say that they don't listen. Because when I think about,
they listen sometimes, but other times they don't, and then they just put out.
Every now and then they do miss the ball, but there's definitely a lot of times where they actually listen. Because I sit here and think, and it's a shame, because I don't want to make this a whole total WWE thing, because we're here to talk about AEW. But I look at someone like Cedric Alexander, who I think is tremendous. But I sit here and say I commend them for listening to the fans when they did the Cruiserweight Classics, and they saw that he was good, and the crowd was sitting there saying, sign him, and they listened. I just hope that they do better with him. And I think, and the same thing with Mia Yim, who, when they were sitting there say sign us, they did. It's just things didn't work out. So I do sit here and say there is this, they do listen. Sometimes things don't work out, and sometimes they just miss the ball. And I think that's just the perfect balance of it, because sometimes they do, and things work out, and then there's times where it doesn't, and you just go, that's unfortunate. But you sat here and you said pretty much they listened to the fans, put the belts on them. How do you feel about them being the tag champs? I mean, I know they haven't done anything exactly yet, but I mean, does it make you excited that they are the AEW champions? Do you see?
Yeah, it does. Makes me excited to see what they're going to do and who their first challenger will be, and hopefully it's not Mark Sterling and Tony Nese.
If it is, it's an easy win. It's an easy win.
They're going to feed them those two at that point.
Yeah, no, if it is those two that opens up and they are facing these two, like, that's not even a challenge. Like, one, you have Tony Nese, who didn't he lose to Danhausen? Like,
yes.
Didn't he get pinned by Danhausen? No, granted, it was a tag match, but even still, Danhausen, which we'll talk about him a little later tonight. But there was a guy out there. I did not write his name.
Kevin Gates.
What was his name?
Kevin Gates.
What does he do?
He's a rapper.
Is he good?
I don't know. I haven't listened to any of his music, or maybe if I have, I didn't know it was him, so I can't tell you. Apparently he was invited by Swerve, so.
Swerve's messing up. He could have invited me. I would have showed up. Like, I mean, I would have been there.
Invited the all-elite couple.
Huh?
He could have invited the all-elite couple.
And I'm pretty sure he did. That's why they're there. That's why they're there and I'm not. And I'm going to let them know. I'm going to give them a piece of my mind and let them know, like, how dare my best friend, Swerve, not invite me? But I'm hoping that they had a good time. I mean, it looked like the crowd. What do you think about the crowd? What do you think about the atmosphere here in AEW tonight? Like, do you feel like everyone was, like, really feeling everything?
I feel like a lot of people were really into everything that was happening.
Absolutely.
It
And
didn't feel dead.
no. Matter of fact, when we talk about rappers, we're going to talk about another rapper because I didn't even know he was still alive. We're going to talk about, we'll get to him later. But yeah, I didn't know who this guy was. And then they threw cake. And I was like, oh, I don't know.
It was an interesting moment. We'll just say that.
We got so much here to talk about with AEW, but we're in the 20-minute mark. We're going to cover All Elite Wrestling. You have the All Elite Jack, the Wrestling Doll. We got some commercials, I think. No, we do have some commercials. We're gonna play some commercials. We're gonna be right back after these commercial words.
Yeah, we had Cora J. Let's talk about this
She
girl.
was upset. She called Toxic Attraction a bunch of little bitches.
Oh.
But oh my god, the girl literally within seconds, the first thing she says was, "Oh my god, I wish we came to the building together. Oh my god, I didn't even see what happened." Like the first 5 seconds of what she's saying, I'm like, girl, you is guilty. Right then and there, I was like, because why are you trying to get your alibi out already? You cannot trick me.
But what gave it away is that she wore Vans. People who wear Vans are they you can't trust them. I'm just throwing it out there. They're the most untrustworthy people in the world. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm a Chucks guy, so I wear Chuck Taylors. So like, if you wear Converses, you can trust them. If they wear Vans, watch your back.
Oh wow, okay. I'm
Just throwing it out there.
For my shoe wear.
I don't even know what shoes you wear.
Lies.
Why did her face look like that? She wears Vans and didn't want to tell you.
She acts like I know these things. I don't know anything about what is she talking about. Like she just wants to pick fights. All I said is you can't trust people with Vans. She felt guilty and felt the need to sit here and say, "Oh wow," you know, that very hype. Oh wow, coming from my shoe. Like I'm just looking at your shoes. She's great, ladies and gentlemen. Continue to support the captain. She's tremendous. She yells at me for no reason. I'm putting a petition up to stop her from yelling at me, but no one cares. But ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Unpopular Review, the AEW Dynamite Review. I'm the bad guy, and you can catch me on Tuesdays nights right after NXT, and that's the Wrestling Doll, and you can catch on Friday nights right after SmackDown go off the air, and we are here, the Bad Dolls are here to talk AEW. Wrestling Doll, what else do we got? What else happened here in this all of this Dynamite? Because I feel like the only thing Dynamite is us. What's going on? What else do we have here?
We had a brief moment with Silver and Reynolds of the Dark Order in the back with Shivani, the Butcher, and the Blade. And with all the shenanigans happening, they had no time to deal with it. And they basically attacked him and threw him on the wall. But they had to help with some cowboy shit, popping in and helping to save the day. It's like,
do you
back to the Dark Order now?
Do you, huh?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like for Hangman Adam Page, is he back in the Dark Order now?
Let me ask you about Adam Page. I feel like a few months back, we were asked like, oh, how do you feel about him being the champion? And I think we both were like, oh, good for him. The story thing and whatever, good for him. I had no, and this is not a knock on Adam Page at all. I think he's good.
I mean, it's not for me either. Look at me. I look like him right now.
What are you talking about?
My jacket.
He wore a jacket. He don't wear jackets.
No, but I got it because it reminded me of him. It gave me Hangman Adam Page vibes. I wanted to feel my cowboy shit.
Oh, you wanted to be on your cowboy shit? Okay. Right. Listen, you know we're making more cowboy shit. When you go to work, you just have a horse. Just take a horse to work and just park him.
Or I wear this in front of EC and I tell him I'm feeling my cowboy shit.
There you go. Yeah, and he'll probably want to say something very loud because you know he's a loud being, very loud.
Something.
But I wanted to ask you, do you feel like this is such a fall for Adam Page? I mean, he was once the AEW champion, and then here it is. Now he's saving like the butt of the Dark Order. Like, who's it? It was Reynolds and silver, right? And it's like, man, he really took a big fall. Like, granted, right, when you're the world champ, then you take a back seat. But even still, I feel like you're in. But he's protecting like the Dark Order's the butt of the Dark Order, or what's left of the Dark Order. I mean, who's left? I've known some people left. Some people
Evil
didn't.
Luno's still there. Silver, Reynolds, -1, Anna J.
Well, a -1 is actually Anna. No. She made the correct decision, and we'll be discussing that a little bit later tonight about Anna J. Anna J sat here and said, I ain't with you losers anymore. I'm going for the big win. That's what happened later tonight, and we're going to discuss a little bit about Anna J and her bad girl behavior. But we're going to talk. But yeah, do you feel like this is just pretty much like, man, Adam Page, he fell? Are you one of those guys who said that, or you just sit here and say, this is good?
That's fine. I think that even though he's not champion anymore, that he can still do something, be a part of something somehow in the company still. And I think this will be okay for him for now without him being in the title picture.
I feel like he can be doing more than protecting the Dark Order.
Well, maybe he's trying to build an alliance.
Well, you gotta remember there is that connection. They were with him even before he was AEW champ, so there was always that connection.
Maybe he's trying to rebuild that.
But does he need the Dark Order?
Maybe they need him.
I love this conversation because we make it sound like Dark Order is a symbiote. Like they need a host so they can survive. And so once they latch onto you like Venom or Carnage, then they just like, yeah, I'm good here. I'm really, really good here. This segment wasn't. I mean, it really wasn't nothing. I think it's gonna set up for like a tag match, and I mean, it's the Butcher and the Blade, man. Like, God bless them. I mean, but they know their roles are like they're just the bad guys. They start stuff with people, but they're not the team that's gonna get the big win. They're not the team to ride off to the sunset with the big win. So there's that. What else do we got? Wrestling Doll, was it WD? Yeah, WD. What we got, WD? I was going to say DW, from Arthur. She was a pain.
Yes, I remember. I grew up watching that.
Oh, my gosh, she was such a pain. She was such a heel, actually. She was a heel. But you know who's the biggest heel on Arthur? Were the Tibble twins. Those two kids caused so much hell. You remember the Tibble twins?
Yes.
Just caused so much trouble.
And speaking of people who like to cause trouble, we had Christian Cage and Luchasaurus go against the Varsity Blondes and basically destroy the crap out of them in the matter of under 5 minutes.
We got some stuff going here. I didn't even see like all these comments. Much better co-host tonight. Oh, you like Russell Doll is great, but
now he does. I think he's on something. Now he's on something because now he likes me again.
But let me tell you something. I will not. I don't stand for no Captain Shay. Just like I have some really great co-hosts, so you will put some respect on the captain. But I do have a great co-host tonight. 2 Dimes first, and we're gonna get to that. 2 Dimes was there. Matter of fact, I did love the reference. I forgot his actual name that they used, but I did love that they did mention, "Hey, I heard you sleeping with the fishes." I did like that little Karter. And we're gonna get to him. I don't watch much of AEW, but I would love MJF to come back. It's eventually going to happen. I mean, like a lot of people feel like, oh, he's not going to come back. He's not going to come back. He's definitely coming back. Like they're setting it up so you forget about MJF. And what you just said, how you miss him, is what like that's the emotion that they want. So like you saying that, watch when he comes back. He's going to get a reaction. I don't want to say it's going to be the biggest babyface reaction. I don't want to say all that stuff. But people will be like, oh, he's back. Ah! They're going to make all that noise. Not like that. That sounded like a giraffe dying. I'm so sorry about that. I didn't like the main event of AEW tonight. Eddie Kingston. I like that. Nelly Nell. Hey, Nelly Nell. How are you? We're going to talk about that match. I'm not a fan of death matches and I'm just not a fan of any of those stuff, but we're going to discuss it. So continue to watch, and hopefully you're being entertained. Hopefully you guys are being entertained by tonight. We're just skimming through some of our thoughts about tonight. So we're not so just bear with us, and please just tell us what you like, disliked, and we'll click the comments and we'll make sure that you are a part of this conversation. And we say thank you. So Russell, I'm sorry. What else do we have going on? You were saying something, and I interrupted you, and I apologize.
Well, like I said, we had Christian Cage and Luchasaurus destroy the Varsity Blondes in a matter of 5 minutes. Mainly, they did that, make it real short to show us that Jungle Boy is back. And
did you pop your head when you heard the music?
how can you not? It's catchy.
It is
And
catchy.
not only that, but Luchasaurus is back on the good side, and Christian Cage was so mad. He would have turned as red as the last pay-per-view that they had he could have literally painted the colors of the Jericho's Appreciation Society.
Are you saying Christian was this?
Yes. It was so hilarious watching him get so mad when Luchasaurus turned his back on him. Because it was like, you turn your back on Jungle Boy, the person that you helped, that you were pretty much his uncle. You talked bad on his family. Well, too bad. I'm staying with him.
I'm trying to figure out, this story is weird, right? So
They gotta have at least one weird story. I mean, besides having Danhausen in there.
and Danhausen. It's weird to me because so when Christian first turned on Jungle Boy, he told Luchasaurus, like, let's not, you remember Marco, and I don't know why he even mentioned it, but and I don't know if they ever followed up with it, right? So then Luchasaurus is working underneath Christian. Now he's not the green dinosaur anymore. He's the black dinosaur. I like how they use black as like, that means he's bad.
I mean, you got the House of Black.
I'm gonna leave this alone.
Hey, look what they did to Julia.
She's Julia. I forgot all about Julia. Wow. There was a song about that once upon a time on Radio Disney. I don't remember something, but I forgot all about Julia. But what was I trying to get at here? I say it's confusing because he confronts Jungle Boy. He moves to the side, but it's almost like hesitant. It's almost like it's a tug of war for the dinosaur. Like, who's going to get the dinosaur? Which one of it? Is it going to be Canadians' least favorite Canadian Christian? Or is it the boy of the jungle, Jungle Boy Jack? He stole my name, by the way. I was called Jungle Boy Jack. I was called Jungle Jim Jack when I was 7. And then I lost the title because I fell off the Jungle Gym.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was injured. I couldn't no longer, and then some guy named Jim took my title, and I had to retire as Jungle Jim Jack. Kind of sad shit, honestly.
So he became Jungle Jim?
Yeah, and ever since then, I hated him. Like, ever since then. Like, I see him in the newspaper, I just want to punch him in the face. But that's neither here or there. But yeah, now he's back. And there was a lot of concern about Jungle Boy because he was hurt. And they didn't know how long he was going to be hurt for. They were like, man, how long are they going to drag him? Because the thing with AEW right now is a lot of people on the shelf. CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly. I think Bobby Fish just got back on the roster. Jungle Boy Jim.
Red Velvet.
Red Velvet. There's a lot of people on the shelf. I mean, that's a lot of names. So I guess there was a big concern with Jungle Boy because he was out for a period, and they were like, oh, we don't know how long he's going to be out. And he shows up tonight, and it looks like he's good. But I do have to say, you know what's so hilarious? Jungle Boy is in his early 20s, right? Healthy young man. You can tell he takes his stamina seriously. He's in really good shape. All that stuff, right? But could not catch 48-year-old. I don't know how old Christian. Let's say he's in his 40s. But Christian was much faster than Jungle Boy. Like, when you saw Christian run up the thing.
He had a head start. He was closer to the stairs.
Jungle Boy is just too slow.
Plus, Jungle Boy threw a chair and they were trying to hit him with it. It kind of slows you down a little bit. Just saying.
I will not make excuses for a guy named Jack. Listen, us Jacks are tremendous, and he didn't do a good job. He should have caught. Christian Cage.
Actually,
Christian
they should
Cage.
have had Luchasaurus go after him to help him stop him, and then put him
Yeah,
in
you know,
there. And then
Luchasaurus
do
is not a really good
character on
dinosaur.
Christian Cage.
Luchasaurus is not really a good dinosaur. You know who's a good dinosaur?
Barney.
Well, that's I really can't say anything bad about him. That's
I thought that's what you were going to say. So
no, it's Yoshi. He's the best dinosaur. Yoshi the dinosaur.
yes, I know who
Larry
you
the
is from the
companion?
Mario franchise.
Fantastic. But yes, that dinosaur didn't do anything. But they're going to continue their feud, and that might do that for All Out, which is I think September 4th. So that looks like that's what they're going to go to. I mean, it's July. You could start building that now and start working toward. I mean, they were already working towards that anyway, but they could start really getting this ball rolling. So with all that said, what else do we got here for AEW?
We have the open challenge for the FTW Championship of Ricky Starks versus Cole Karter.
Ooh,
And
the
I
guy who's
must
sleeping with the
say,
fishes.
Hmm?
The guy who was sleeping with the fishes. Apparently, he got out of the bed of
swam
the
right
fishes.
to AEW. That was the guy who swam with the fishes in NXT and is now swam back here to AEW.
I love the cheesiness of this because they're like, "Hey, we heard you was sweeping." Oh my god, I just want to imagine a fish sweeping now. He said, "Yeah, I heard you guys was sleeping with the fishes. Now you sleeping with the sharks. Cause it's Shark Week, ladies and gentlemen. Ha ha! In case you didn't know, matter of fact, you know what's funny? As I was watching AEW and just trying to just get this stuff so I could be prepped for the show, I see my man The Rock, and I'm like, I see you everywhere, Dwayne. And he's right here on top of the like a cliff, and there's sharks. And he says, "Is there enough sharks?" Because I'm pretty sure he can just buy a bunch of sharks.
He was like, "How many sharks do we need here?"
That man is just everywhere, and good for him. I just wanted to point out. I want to give a shout out to the man. What were we talking here? Yeah, FTR. Oh my god, FTW
Championship match.
What do you think about the belt?
I don't even know what the FTW stands for. If it's for the win,
no.
Then
let me ask you. What do you think it stands for?
Maybe for the win. I don't know.
Fuck the world.
Does it really mean that?
Mm-hmm. Well, Taz, when he made it back in the day, I don't know, somewhere in the 90s, I wasn't a big ECW guy, but it was called the FTW belt. It's fuck the world. Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, then Ricky Starks is the perfect person to hold it right now because he literally says fuck the world to everybody every damn week.
Oh, yeah.
I was watching, I was like, how long has that man been the FTW champion? And then when he said it was for over a year, I'm like, oh, okay.
You gotta remember too, I forgot how long he was out for a period because I know he was hurt. And I don't know if it was like a month or two. So, I mean, his reign, there was a period, I feel like there was a period where he just didn't even defend it. Now he's doing a lot more defenses. And please, the guys who watch AEW more than me, correct me because I just don't know for sure. But it just seemed like he's been doing more title defenses in the last few months. So, yeah, a whole year. I was like, oh, wow, I didn't even realize he held it for that long.
Neither did I. It kind of felt like he was holding it for longer. But not in a good way.
You make it sound like he was holding it like Bruno Sammartino. Like, he held his title for like 8 years or something like that.
It feels like it.
What did you think about this match, doll?
I think that I'm definitely going to be happy seeing a lot more of Cole Karter on AEW, whether it be on Dynamite, Rampage, or on Dark, because he's a pretty good damn talent, and he wasn't utilized as much in where he eventually wound up sleeping with the fishes. But who knows? Maybe this will possibly open up a feud with him and Ricky Starks in the future. Not to mention his next challenger for the FTW Championship, which was the one and only, very evil, very nice, Danhausen.
You know, it's funny. I did a show with the Elite Couple one time, and they were asking my opinions on him. I forgot what my opinions at the time was, but, I look at him and I'm just saying, oh, okay, this guy. But Joker is a huge fan of Danhausen, And I just can't wait to hear what his takes was when he got to see him live. I want to know if he, you know, it's funny. Ricky Starks, I think Dan Houser called him Richard, which is freaking hilarious. And he says something over the lines of like, Ricky Starks says something like, "I'll see you next week," you know, because that's how Danhausen talk. Danhausen always talking like, "Yeah, I'm gonna see you right next." Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, he does that talk, and I'm just sitting there going like, what the hell am I watching? But people did eat up when they heard the music. I didn't even know whose music that was. I was like, what is this music? What is this like Halloween special music? And
when you hear music like that on AEW, you know it's Danhausen.
But I mean, just to dig a little bit in this match, Ricky Stark was totally going to cream.
Yep.
Like there was no way that Ricky don't win and don't beat him. I mean, he got him with a good spear, hit him really good with the spear, and there's that. I mean, why don't we get to one more segment? What's the next segment that we have going?
We had Tony Schiavone with Athena, Chris Statlander, and Willow Nightingale. Unfortunately, Chris Statlander won't be able to compete due to getting hit in the head or something that happened to her before. So it's just Athena and Willow. And Athena's basically saying how the the AEW women's title will look good on Chris, while the TBS championship will look very nice on her waist. And Willow saying that she wants everybody to go out there and whoop some ass and beat down the baddies.
Willow is great. I sometimes
love her.
She's you met her?
I said I love her.
Oh, she is tremendous. I saw her out here for a show or so out here in New York for Hog. Shout out to HOG. They're tremendous. They're great. They have a show coming out here in August. I think it's August 28th. I forget the exact date. But please, I mean, if you're out here in New York, go to their shows. It's always a good time. It's always fun. But she does some shows sometime out here. And she's just such a fun spirit, like legitimately just a fun spirit. Like I can see how everyone just is just a fan of hers. And you know, yes, she is just tremendous. And it was nice to see her out there. It was her and Athena against the Baddies. Not the top show Baddies, which you can catch on Sunday. Me and Cedar Superior, we're going to do Legend of Zelda on UPR Gaming. Cheap plug there. And I hated that Willow. She took the pin. But, I mean, you're not beating my girl, Jade. Jade is just... I know you're not the biggest fan of Jade, but Jade is just tremendous. You know, she... I feel like you just rolled your eyes as soon as I said that. I was like, she's tremendous.
No, she just bores me.
Wow.
She's not the greatest in the ring. She's still kind of greenish, but everybody raves about her like if she's the hottest thing since sliced bread.
Well, sliced bread is not really that interesting. I hate when people use that as an example. They're like, you're not as good as sliced bread. I'm like, it depends on the bread, actually. Because I'm more of a rap guy. Just throwing it out there. Bread makes you fat. Just wanted to say that. But yeah, I mean, Jade, she's not the most polished in the ring. She has a good look. I think she doesn't really get totally low. I mean, there have been matches where she's been exposed, no doubt. Especially one, I forgot how long ago, the one with Ruby Soho.
Yeah, for the TBS Championship.
That she was exposed. She's still learning, and I give that. I'll sit here and say that. But she has a good look, and I'm not even a guy who goes for looks, you know, because I feel like you gotta be able to either talk or you gotta be able to hold your own in the ring. And I do like what they're doing with her. I really do. I genuinely do like what they're doing with her. It's almost kind of like, and at this point, we're trying to figure out who beats her, who's going to be the one to beat her. Who do you see beating her? Who do you see the first person to pin Jade soldiers to the ground? Shoulder.
Maybe Chris.
Shoulder. Putting her shoulder to the ground.
Maybe Chris Statlander.
A lot of people go with that. Are you a Chris Statlander fan?
She became one of my first favorites when I started watching AEW Dark.
Ooh.
Back when she was doing her alien gimmick.
All right, she's no longer an alien. She's a person.
Well, now
So
she's a badass.
She's a badass. All right. A lot of people, you're not the first, so I mean, maybe that comes to that happens. What is the and then we can get ready to do a commercial. But what else do we have happening here? Matter of fact, I do want to throw out here real quick. I do, because we're talking about this, and I just could not help myself. So, I'm getting ready. I'm like, okay, it's almost showtime. Trying to take some little notes or just putting things so at least I could, like a bookmark, right? See fucking Jermaine Dupri come out. I had to look at my calendar and said, what year is this? I said, Jermaine freaking Dupri. Do you remember Jermaine Dupri from back in the day?
Yes.
I couldn't believe that he came out there. I just couldn't believe it. Because I said, who's this other black guy? I said, that's not Stokely. Unless Stokely he got cloned. I didn't know what was happening. I said, oh, maybe he got cloned and maybe the thing worked. And then the guy was like, oh, that's Jermaine Dupri. I said, Jermaine Dupri from So Def? The guy who brought us Bow Wow? Jacket Edge? The Brat?
Well, maybe Stokely called him.
Huh?
Maybe Stokely called him.
No one's calling Jermaine Dupri. No one is calling Jermaine Dupri. I don't believe that at all. No one person, not even family members are not calling this guy. Who found him? Who flipped over a rock and said, hey, what are you doing, Jermaine Dupri? I just don't understand who found him. This blows my mind. This literally, I said, whoa, who, huh? I blew my mind when I saw that. I'm sitting there trying to watch wrestling, and I see Jermaine fucking Dupri on my TV. Why? Who did this? This is a scary step. This is a
well, they were in Atlanta, so maybe that was why too.
Huh?
They were in Atlanta too, so maybe that was why.
They don't care. I didn't see some Atlantean go like, hoo, 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 hoo. No one did that. Who found this man? I want answers. And no one is
I just trying to think
me.
of a logical reason why he was there, okay?
Who cloned him? How did this happen? I need to know who found Jermaine Dupri because this blew my fucking mind. I said, no way. That's
I didn't know you turned into Mark Anthony because now you need to know.
I do need to know. And where is Mark Anthony? I need to know where are any of these people. How are people finding these people? Ancestry.com? I need help. I'm done. I'm done with the rant. What else do we got? Because I'll dig deep on this Jermaine Dupri because this blew my mind. Who found him?
FTR coming out here carrying all three of their tag team championships right now. And they're basically saying that 2022 has been a pretty good year for them and that they are looking forward to going against the Briscoes part 2. But this time, instead of a championship being taken away, it's going to stay on their belt, on their hands, and they're around their waist.
I never saw that match. I heard a lot of good stuff about it. Really good reviews about that match. I don't see myself watching the ROH show I believe it's this Saturday. I don't see myself watching it. I'll be watching.
I won't be either, but not because I don't want to.
You're a busy lady.
Yes, I am.
You should be telling what is it that you be doing?
Well, what I be doing is most weekends now I go out around the lovely city of Orlando and other places nearby to go to local wrestling shows and film and support people that I enjoy watching. And I'll be doing that all this weekend.
There you go. And I didn't get a chance to put your link, but please tell people where people can find you. You are the unofficial.
You may find me on YouTube as the unofficial camera woman, and I will be very, very busy this coming weekend, filming videos like crazy and putting them up online.
And please give her a follow and continue to support my partner over here. we're going to do a commercial break. But what do we have next? We talked about FTR. They were hyping up all the ROH matches that was going to happen this weekend.
Yes, not to mention that Dax did mention a story about a little girl who had a complication with her heart, that she had a hole in the bottom of her heart. And the doctor said if she worked hard and kept her life going, that it would eventually close up by itself, or she would have to have open heart surgery, which is very risky for a child of 5. And 3 years later, the hole closed on its own, and it turns out that that little girl was Dax's daughter.
They're able to bring like these promos, right? Like there's not a lot of, and much appreciated right here, this link right here, ladies and gentlemen, the unofficial cameraman. Please follow her because she does tremendous work. So continue to follow her. But I just want to say here and dig right here, it's like promos like that, that's what brings people in. Like it's the promos like that that bring people in, because like he brought a little bit of his actual real life here. Not even actual, but his real life here. It's in there saying if she can overcome these things, so can Daddy, and Daddy's going to continue to retain the title. I did hear that, and I don't usually sit there and say for another man, Daddy. So
neither do I.
Daddy. So he said Daddy. But what is the next segment? And then we'll do a commercial.
Well, actually, it was a match. It was the tag match of Jade Cargill and Kiera Hogan of the Baddies versus Athena and Willow Nightingale.
We covered that. No, we didn't cover that.
We covered their segment.
Okay.
But we did not cover their match.
RPJ's iPhone.
Thank you.
But it was a pretty good match. And as always, I love watching my lovely ladies of wrestling. But we all know how the outcome was going to be, unfortunately for some of us. Jade and Kiera win with Willow getting pinned by Jade.
Jade is phenomenal. We did cover this, but Jade is phenomenal. She's because I did say earlier, like there's things that she got to work on for sure, and there's a lot of times where she was exposed. But you know, I really like what they're doing with her. I love it. I love it, and that's why I even asked, who do you see being the person to pin her? Be the first one to pin her, because when she does get pinned, it's going to be a big deal. It's like, oh, she got pinned, and you know what's going to happen. I would love for her. It's cool that she is the TBS champion, not the AEW World Women's Champion, which I feel like is eventually going to happen. But I like what they're doing with Jade. I like Jade. Maybe it's a biasness on Jade, but I love me some Jade. She can throw me to the sun any time of the week. Actually, no, because I'm not. No, that's dangerous. Don't throw me in the sun. But she's tremendous. Just wanted to say that. But what else we got here? What else we got here in AEW? What else we got here? Matter of fact, what is the next segment that we have before we do a commercial?
Let's see.
I keep saying commercial because we already passed the 40 minutes. But what else do we have here? Because I feel like it's the main event, but I want to be sure.
It is the Chris Jericho, Eddie Kingston barbed wire death match.
And you know what? You're going to hear our thoughts. But you're going to hear this commercial first. So we'll be right back after these commercials.
Jeff Jarrett being the special guest referee.
That was one of you guys growing up. That was one of you guys growing up.
I really like Jeff Jarrett. He was one of my favorites.
Okay. I'm just surprised. I never heard that.
JEFF, JARRETT. That's double J. Haha, Jeff Jarrett. Ain't he great? But
okay.
It was a little anticlimactic. I expected a bigger name to be thrown in there somehow.
Such as?
Well, I knew it was going to be like Stone Cold Steve Austin or something. That's why I was really curious of where they were going to go. But I just felt like Jeff Jarrett was a little bit of a letdown. He was so much of a letdown, they had to give you a video package because they knew that a lot of the fans now probably don't know who he is.
This just felt so like when I heard it, I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, no disrespect to Jeff Jarrett. Like, he earned his spot in wrestling. He's earned it
in Nashville.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't live in Nashville. I know,
but I just put the dots together. I know.
And I still don't fucking care.
Yeah, nobody really cares now either.
No one did.
I still don't.
And that was us from Friday. See, me and the Wrestling Doll, I gotta say, I have a lot of great partners that I work with. Me and the Wrestling Dog, we did the NXT. We're doing Dynamite tonight. We did Friday night, and
We done Monday night.
Huh?
We done Monday night.
We have done Monday night, right? You know it is because it's just fell off the face of the planet. But right, we have done that. What's next for me and the Wrestling Dog? We're gonna take over Thanksgiving parade this year. Me and the Wrestling Dog, we're taking because all those old people who've been hosting, it's time for them to just be at home, rubbing Ben Gay on their knees.
It's the Bad Dolls Parade.
Huh?
It's the Bad Dolls Parade.
It's the Bad Dolls. Yeah, we're gonna have floats going on. Like I'm gonna see here. I'm always happy that they bring out my boy Sonic, because I'm a Sonic the Hedgehog guy. So when I see Sonic, I'm like, that's my guy. I always get really excited. I love when I have my little niece. She told me today. She sat here and said, Sonic's not that good, and I looked at her in her face. I said, you're just not that smart.
And how old is your niece? She's
3. Well, you know what it is. She's a very smart girl, but she knows that she knows how to kick a man. Like if I had an open wound in my knee, she would rub alcohol. She would just pour alcohol on it, and not the alcohol that I'm drinking. So yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog is the guy. But you're watching Unpopular Review. Please give us a like, love, and share. There's so much content going on this brand. You guys are hearing me run my mouth. I'm All Elite Jack. She's the Wrestling Doll. Or I should point out that she's the Wrestling Doll. And we have, if you look at the links, we have links for entertainment. We just did a one-shot today. Tonight around 8, we were talking about Krypton. We'll talk about Superman, hence why I'm wearing a Superman shirt. Yeah. And we have a link for gaming. This weekend, me and Cedar Superior were playing Legend of Zelda. And just join us because you're going to see me get lost and curse. It's a great time. And also, please, I didn't put this link in here, but please follow this link right here. The unofficial camera woman. We got here the Wrestling Doll. And Wrestling Doll, we're at the main event here. We're talking about Chris Jericho, the Painmaker, against Eddie Kingston. And Barbed Wire. What did you think about Justin Roberts, right? He had when he's doing the promo on the mic, and they had Barbed Wire on the mic. Like, it looked so cheesy, too. It didn't even look like real barbed wire.
Kind of felt like that bit was a little much, but I kind of get why they were doing that. To emphasize the point of it being the barbed wire match. But with those two, we already knew it was going to be big. It was going to be massive, messy, bloody. We knew it was going to be insane.
Oh, yeah. It was bloody in the first 2 minutes, I would say. Like, it was bloody immediately. And like...
They didn't want those two to wait. They were like, all right, you guys get in there, make it as big and messy and bloody as you want, and do it as fast as you wanted.
It was bloody immediately. And you have... Because the thing with Eddie, he was like, yo, you made me look like a liar. I said, I was going to taste your blood. Which is like, ill. And like, and even like pre-COVID, that's still gross. And these guys are fighting. These guys are just beating the hell out of each other. The spots, there's a picture-in-picture.
And with the Jericho Appreciation Society in a cage above it tonight.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I thought that was stupid. And I say it's stupid because of this. It's like you're suspending them up in the air just for them to come back down. And
like they were going to get out somehow.
You knew that was going to happen. You knew somehow that was going to happen. It was a matter of time. And like, because when they went up there, I was first in there saying, "This seems like such a stupid idea," but whatever. And they're in the shark cage because guess what week it is, ladies and gentlemen? In case you don't know, it's Shark Week. If you didn't see the Rock commercial where he bought like 20 sharks, or there was a shark actually at AEW and he was doing this, okay. But then there was a shark cage. And I was like, ho, you got me there, Discovery. This is why I drink.
I saw that stipulation. I was like, why are they doing that in the first place? And then I saw that said it was Shark Week because of that show coming. I'm like, okay, now that's the only reason why. I found it kind of stupid because, like, they're going to get out somehow. And they did with the help of apparently what might be reunited best friends in Ty Conti and Anna Jay. Basically,
Anna Jay was you know what it is? Anna Jay saw what happened to the Dark Order. She saw how these other two members just got washed. She said, "Why am I hanging out with these losers?" And at first it looks like, oh look, she's going to turn baby. She's not even turning. She's going to be baby. She's going to help Ruby because Ruby came out there to help out Eddie. And Tani, not Tani. What's her name?
Ty Conti.
Ty Conti. Ty. Thank you, Ty. I gotta remember that. Ty.
That's how she wants to
like butcher names. Huh?
Oh. What did you say?
Oh, I was saying I always butcher names, so that's why I had to say, huh? What was it? But yeah, Ty
Conti.
Ty. I gotta remember because my barber's named Ty, so I gotta remember that. But Ty, she's out there trying to help out the Jericho Appreciation Society, which could just be called Inner Circle.
Yeah, Kissing Society.
Yeah, it's just okay. And she helps out. Anna's all like, "No, I'm good girl Annie." And then she was like, "Make you look." And she sat there, she decked Ruby. She said, "Hit an Anna elbow, bang, laid her out." Ruby, and she fell to the ground. I don't know why I made that MCU noise. But then she's laid out on the ground, and they're laughing and they're smiling. Then they help out the Jericho Appreciation. And Jericho was getting his ass kicked throughout this fight. Suplex through the barbed wire.
Eddie said he wanted to make him bleed.
He did. Eddie did make him bleed. I don't even think he cared that he lost. He made him bleed.
Oh, no, he didn't care because that's like he threw him into the barbed wire outside.
Who?
Eddie, afterwards, he threw Jericho into the barbed wire outside of the ring.
He did. He made Jericho pay after taking the loss because the Jericho Appreciation, when they came out, the Blackpool guys came out, and the one who got his head shaved, I don't know.
Hannah.
Thank you. And he came out because they were trying to even up the odds, and I mean, all this fighting, it looked like do you think this still goes on? Do you think this is it for the Inner Circle and the Blackpool?
Pretty much been the Inner Circle has been over for quite a minute now, so I don't know the high chances of that group getting back together.
No, and I don't mean getting back together. I mean over meaning, do you see this feud still going is what I meant to ask.
For a good minute, yeah. Maybe for the next, up until 2-3 pay-per-views.
You say 2-3? I'd say maybe one more. I would hope eventually that everyone moves on because even now, says Santana was the one who had his head shaved, right? I've been hearing stuff about him and his partner, like they might not be on the best terms, so it looked like he might be doing something. Well, what you call it, Santana and Ortiz. Ortiz is hurt. I believe Ortiz is the one who's hurt. I mix everyone's name up, so please.
Well, I don't remember either.
But shows how much we watch AEW here, ladies and gentlemen. But we hope that you guys enjoyed our review here. It was quick, straight to the point. We gave some thoughts. AEW was not bad tonight. I will sit here and say death matches or barbed wire matches are just not my kind of thing. But if you enjoy that kind of stuff, then this was up your alley. We're not going to spend we're not going to be here much longer, so we're going to wrap it up in under the next 5 minutes. But we want to sit here and say, first of all, we want to thank the All Elite couple for letting us take over their home. This is their home right here. And here it is. I'm coming from Tuesday. You're coming from Friday. We're here to review AEW, and we hope that you guys had just a fun time in hearing all the what our thoughts was and hearing my rant on who found Jermaine Dupri, because I'm still trying to figure that out. But we're going to plug some shows because Unpopular Review, we're more than a wrestling brand here, ladies and gentlemen. We are more than that, but we're going to discuss stuff. So Wrestling Doll, I do this all the time on Tuesday nights here with the captain. But we're going to plug some shows. What do we got here, Wrestling Doll?
So on Mondays at 6 o'clock, you can catch Perfect Plex Talk Radio, the show for the intelligent wrestling fan with Mike Knox and the Silent.
Yes. And what time can you catch me?
At 6 o'clock.
Woo! Oh, let me plug these. Let me plug this.
Look, you basically turned to Mike Knox. I was waiting for you to say the thing that he always says. But anyways.
About Mike Knox? About how me taking his ex away? Because
no,
he likes
the fact that someone is the greatest women's wrestler of all time, but we're not going to get there because he said the woo.
You know, he's wrong. That's the best I got for him.
Anyways, we have
yes.
NXT reviews every Tuesday with the Ollie Jack over here with Captain Shay. You can get you right after NXT goes right off the air.
She's pretty, but she always yells at me. And on Fridays, what do we got here?
Well, on Fridays, minus this one, you have me reviewing all things SmackDown, sometimes with the Ultimate Fan Patrick, sometimes with BadGuy Jack, sometimes with the executive consultant, sometimes with whoever's available. It all depends.
Who's available. And we got so much content. Unfortunately, we don't have all the plugs for entertainment, but let me plug it right now. Right now, they're in the Rocky franchise. They just did Rocky 2 on Tuesday, yesterday. So please check them out on entertainment. There's a link to the entertainment page. We did a one-shot. We did Krypton, and we're talking all Superman stuff until we get to August when we will be reviewing She-Hulk. So please tune into that. And also, there's a gaming site where we be streaming games. We are, like I said, this Sunday we'll be playing or returning back to playing Legend of Zelda. Ocarina of Time, me and Cedar Superior. There's so much content going on, and also continue to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and also our TikTok. TikTok is booming. And Patreon. There's so much stuff going on. We got to update these backgrounds, but there's so much content, and I can't help to tell you so much. Like, if you love wrestling, cool. But if you're like, man, I really like that unpopular review, but I want more, we do entertainment stuff, and we're open for suggestions on this stuff that you would say, I would like to hear you guys' opinions on this show, this movie, and that stuff. We cover everything. That's the beauty of this brand. We're more than wrestling. We do entertainment, we do gaming, and then sports. And sports is something growing at the moment. There's so many great hosts. Here that we're going to continue to be here to entertain you guys. So with all that said, we have covered AEW. That's all the plugs. Continue to support us. Thank you for supporting us. And with that said, I guess we could pretty much call it home. So, Wrestling Doll, I usually do this with Kat, but any last words before we go home?
Yes, I'll be a busy woman all weekend long. Like I said, I'll be putting out some videos. I'll be going to matches, going to shows. So be on the lookout for that on my channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman.
Unofficial Camera Woman. I'm the bad guy. She's the Wrestling Doll. And we sit here and say, we got to find the outro. Hey, Ollie couple, how did we do? Let us know. And we say, have a elite great night. That was so corny. Have a great fucking night. That's it. Have a great night. Nah, you know this show was pretty good, though. Give us a like, love, and share. You know you should do that. Unpopular review. Thank you for following us. That's all, folks.